Doctor Strange is back with Multiverse of Madness. How well does the Sorcerer Supreme fare in his second solo outing? Let's find out with this review.
I did what I had to do to protect our world.
Alright, what do I think about it? I think it's pretty good for a Marvel movie, a tentpole Marvel movie. Solid performances all around. I've always liked Raimi's style. He has this distinct visual cues and style, the way he zooms and pans and stuff like that. So if you're a fan, you'll probably like the way Raimi shot the movie. If you're not a fan of it, you might feel weird or you might not vibe with it. Overall, it's okay. There's still a few corny lines, just the way that Raimi likes to do, similar to how he did with Spider-Man. But if for Raimi, I think in Strange Multiverse of Madness, he really honed in with the horror style. So if you're really into the horror part of the first movie, this one really goes more into the horror part. Solid performances from the cast all around, from Wanda, Strange, Wong, even Chavez. She's surprisingly endearing. Could have used more Christine. I feel like she was a bit underutilized, but then again, that's always been the case with these kinds of characters. But bottom line, if you're a fan of Strange and Marvel movies, this is something you'll enjoy. It's not exactly a multiple viewing kind of thing. You can just watch it once in the theater and wait until it comes out on digital, which is what I'll probably end up doing. But you know, if you have the time and you want to watch a good Marvel movie, this is not a bad way to spend your afternoon or evening.
You opened the doorway between universes, and we don't know who or what will walk through it.
Okay, so spoiler talk. Fantastic Four. John Krasinski, Mr. Fantastic. Did not expect that. I kept away from spoilers as much as I could, so I didn't really expect that. There were others that I kind of knew, like Professor X. It's kind of all over the place. Peggy Carter, accidentally saw that. Didn't see anything about Black Bolt or Captain Marvel, but they were a nice surprise. But ultimately, the Fantastic Four took me off guard. Was it cool? Yes. Was it impactful? I don't know. Because, alright, it was nice hearing the X-Men team when Professor came out. And then the fight scene, it was interesting, but the way they all died, I kind of feel like this is just like a throwaway fan service kind of thing. I don't know if there's any implications where it's the multiverse itself, or whether or not this is actual casting for Fantastic Four. We might not have John Krasinski back as Mr. Fantastic, but I don't know. This could be just a one-off thing. It's the same with the Black Bolt dude. Still though, the way they all die is kind of gruesome. This movie really hones in on the horror part. It's like sometimes it feels like it doesn't feel like a Marvel movie. It feels like a horror movie that accidentally became a Marvel movie. But yeah, overall, amazing to see Fantastic Four in this, and then Professor X, then the whole multiverse property coming together. But will this have any effect? I don't know. What does this mean MCU-wide? Does it matter in the end? Who knows? But it's interesting that Marvel actually took this approach and decided to just cut it off right then and there. Because as far as I know, there's no indication that this will be beyond Strange. Overall, pretty cool fight scene. I did enjoy that Peggy was able to set the line, do this all day. The way they all died though was a bit gruesome, kinda. I feel like it's, well, I mean, it is what it is. The way that she got cut in half, and then Reed Richards, John Krasinski, being pulled into spaghetti and then pop his head. That's like messed up. Captain Marvel squished by the statue, and Black Bolt. Jeez, that's pretty gruesome the way that his head exploded. Sometimes I feel like this is a bit too much for a Marvel movie, but I guess they're really pushing the PG-13 aspect of it. The horror aspect really stands out in this one. Not just the gore, it's also like the actual scares. There's jump scares all around, especially the way Wanda just pops out of nowhere and her red eyes. It's like freaking scary. It's definitely very horror driven, even more than the first one. But then again, that's like Raimi style. He's really good with the whole horror thing. Another cool visual is the zombie Strange with the death cape, the hands and everything. That's like pretty cool, and the way it's used against Wanda in the final battle, pretty cool. The way they trapped her in. Again, other cool visual aspects, the jumping through the portal. There were different scenes. I can't particularly recall which one represent which one, but there was a few animated ones. I'm not sure if that's like, if it connects to the Spider-Verse. If it does, that's pretty cool. Moving on to characters, I think America Chavez is actually not that bad. She's a pretty cool character. I was worried she might be a bit annoying or something like that, but she's actually quite interesting and a breath of fresh air in the whole lineup. It'll be interesting to see how the character will develop, whether or not she'll stay with Strange or just have her own adventures, or maybe a Disney Plus series. Who knows? Best performance goes to Elizabeth Olsen. She's amazing in this as Wanda. She really portrays the pain of missing her children and the length she'll go through just to be with them. And also the flip side of the other Wanda who's like has the kids, but then she understands her pain, the other Wanda's pain as well. So the way she plays off those characters is pretty amazing to see. Downsides, this is a Raimi flick, true and true. Of course, Raimi has his distinct style, the way he shoots things, the way he zooms and pans and stuff like that. But there's also a bit of the corny things that he does with the way the lines are delivered and the way things are shot. Like how Wanda was doing her whole magic thing. And I don't know, the way sometimes the scenes are filmed, it felt a bit corny, too much, when it could have been much more intense or much more impactful. But, that's just the way Raimi does. Story-wise, it's not that bad. It's actually pretty focused. It's quite refreshing for a change. It's not world-ending, shattering. I mean, there's world-ending part with the whole multiverse smashing to each other, but the focus has always been saving America Chavez, from being taken by Wanda. So it's kind of like really brisk focus and not too crazy with the whole different aspect, just like the way No Way Home was, where it goes to different aspect of the multiverse. So yeah, pretty focused on just Strange and America Chavez on this whole part. Yeah, it's like still world-ending stuff, but surprisingly much more focused. Some pretty cool scenes in this one, particularly the one where Doctor Strange was fighting his Dark Hole Strange, and there was this musical battle. I did not expect that. It was pretty cool visually. Really pushes the boundaries of what the visual style of Strange movies can be. But I think this will be probably unique to a Strange movie because like they're the only one that can do or pull off this kind of visual aspect. So yeah, it really pushes cool visuals and new sounds. And speaking of sounds, I do kind of miss the harpsichord, the unique Doctor Strange theme from the first one. They didn't play that at all. I think there was a small hint of it somewhere in the movie, like later on. But overall, it's like there wasn't any identifiable Strange theme, Doctor Strange theme. So yeah, I kind of missed that. But Danny Elfman, the guy who took over for the composer, he did a good job. There were like unique sounds with the whole guitar, 90s grunge stuff. I guess it kind of fits the whole horror aspect of it that Raimi wanted, but it's not that it's a bad soundtrack, it's just that there weren't any memorable ones to me per se. Thinking back, while the movie was good, and I do recommend you guys checking it out, I did feel kind of disappointed about it. Why? Because I thought it would be building more to the MCU universe kind of thing with the whole characters from different multiverses, but it was surprisingly contained. So yeah, I thought it would have been a bigger movie, but it was actually much more contained, much more smaller. Post credit though, that character, I think she's related to Doctor Strange or something, but I don't know who she is. I'm assuming she's gonna play a huge role in the next Strange movie, but I don't know enough about her to give any information about that. So we'll see what happens when the next movie comes out, which I don't think it will happen anytime soon, because it seems like Benedict Cumberbatch wants to take a break from acting. But yeah, so that's what I thought. Overall, good movie. Check it out. Should you rush to watch it? Not necessarily. Multiple viewings? Not necessarily. But if you have the time, you want to watch a good Marvel movie, could have done worse. You could have watched Morbius instead. Alright, and that's all for this episode. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.